when he heard about the Quadcom, siya ay sumulat sa komite at upon receiving his letter, so me and my co-chairs discussed this letter because apparently he wanted to let the committee know that he has already recanted his earlier statement noong 2018 where in that statement that he made before the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee and the House Committee on Dangerous Drugs, he was pointing at Colonel Ed Asierto as the one who was responsible in smuggling and importing itong mga magnetic lifter which contains illegal drugs. So when we received that letter, nakalagay doon that he has recanted already and he submitted his new judicial affidavit before the RTC in 2022. So sabi namin, probably it's worth listening to and let's see what new information and new evidence he has. No, he did not write specify in this letter kung ano yung sasabihin niya. He just said that he knew the story behind magnetic lifter smuggling where 6.5 billion pesos worth of shabu was discovered.
Kailan po siya sumulat sa Quadcom?
August about a week ago. About a week ago.
Okay. Pero yung recantation niya, kung tama po yung pagkakadinig ko sa inyo, 2022 pa, tama po ba?
Yung kanyang recantation sa RTC with this new judicial affidavit he submitted there in that RTC, that was 2022. Yun ang yun ang sinabit niya. So he wrote to us about a week ago when we received the letter. He attached in that letter yung kanyang affidavit. Pero unsigned yung kanyang affidavit na pinadala sa amin. So we did not mind his letter at first, no? Kasi nakita namin, ba't ka magpapadala ng sulat na wala namang value kasi hindi mo pinirmahan. So, dun sa letter niya, he signed in that letter and he said that if he will be given a chance to speak before a committee hearing, he will swear in that committee hearing under oath that he was the one who made the affidavit and he was the one who will sign it in front of us. So sabi namin, sige, bigyan natin siya ng pagkakataon.
Mm-hmm. May nabanggit ba sa inyo, Congressman, yung ano yung nagbago? What changed? Bakit bigla siya nag-iba ng kanyang version ngayon?
Well, when we asked him, tinanong namin siya, ang sabi niya, siya daw yung nagsasuffer sa jail. Nagsasabi lang, hindi, dahil siguro hindi siya nagsabi ng katotohanan. Kaya't naisip niya, na konsensya siya, that if given the opportunity, magsasabi siya ng katotohanan at ito ay susumpaan niya. Kaya nagkaroon siya ng ganyang klaseng judicial affidavit at yun naman ang pinakita niya sa amin. Kaya namin siya pinatawag bilang isang resource person.
And so far, how did you find this testimony? Kasi dun sa mga nakikita ko reaction ng mga hindi naman natutuwa sa sinabi niya, sinasabi ng iba, bakit daw maniniwala pabago-bago ng version? Kung ito yung sinabi niya noon, why should we believe his version now? Ano po ba sagot niyo doon?
Well, yung sa amin kasi titimbangin pa namin, no? We will weigh the statement that he made as well as his affidavit that he submitted to us. Kung ito ba ay may value kasi gaya rin ng reaksyon ng iba, marami ring nagtatanong, no? Bakit nagbago bigla? Bakit paniniwalaan? Nagsinungaling na siya once. What would keep him from telling a lie the second time, the third time, the fourth time? Yung sa atin kasi, we will not take his testimony hook, line, and sinker, Christian. No? Bibigyan din namin yung bigat nito. We are now consulting mga legal experts in the House of Representatives to help us come up with a opinion dun sa kanyang sinabi. Pagka hindi na substantiate with hard evidence or other evidence that would substantiate his testimony, I'm sorry sa kanya, hindi namin ito isasama sa aming committee report.
Opo, pero Congressman, so far, doon sa binanggit niya, doon sa huling pag-appear niya po sa Quadcom, ano ba yung nakita niyong medyo mabigat? Kasi ang description every bombshell, no? Lalo dinawit niya itong colleague ninyo at anak ng dating Pangulo.
Well, una, binawi niya yung kanyang pagkakadiin sa kay Colonel Asierto at kay Colonel Fajardo, no? Na kung saan sinabi niya earlier na sila ang mastermind dito sa pag-smuggle at pag-i-import itong mga drugs from China. Isa yan, ano? Kaya sabi namin, nung binago niya yung statement, pakinggan natin, baka meron siyang iturong iba. No? Ito nga, naituro niya, sabi niya, na pinressure siya to say what he said in that committee hearing because merong threat sa buhay niya, threat sa buhay ng pamilya niya. So pinakinggan kaya namin, sabi na isa sa basihan na pakinggan siya. No? Again, nung nagsalita siya, yung kwento niya ay sinasabi niya na certain Councilor Abilera was the one who actually the point person that he was talking to at nagsasabi sa kanya na luwagan mo yung pagpaparelease ng mga container ni Michael Yang. No? Dito kasi Michael Yang yung biggest piece of the puzzle, Christian. Ano? Nabanggit dito si Kong Pulong at saka si Attorney Mans Carpio as friends of Mr. Michael Yang. Yun nga, sabi ko, dapat yun, masubstantiate din natin yan. Kung wala siyang ebidensya, magpapatunay na gano'n, medyo mukhang mahirap paniwalaan yun. And sabi naman niya at sabi ng kanyang abogado na humarap sa amin, marami daw po silang mga evidence, no? And that is what we have to see, yet to see, no? Sa committee in the next scheduled hearings namin.
Ibig sabihin, hindi pa pala hindi to yung una at huli na pagsasalita niya dito sa ongoing Quadcom investigation and meron siyang ibang ebidensya na pwede mag-substantiate nung kanyang binanggit na?
When we talk to him, sinabi namin, you have to substantiate yung iyong alegasyon dahil mabigat yung iyong binitawang alegasyon. At kailangan may kasamang ebidensya yan na mabigat din that would support yung iyong alegasyon. Sabi naman niya that he can prove daw, no? And that is what we have yet to see. Sabi ko nga, kasi ngayon pa lang siya nagkakaroon ng recollection sa lahat na nangyari at probably yung siguro yung mga nakausap niya noon o yung mga tumutulong sa kanya, maaari magbigay ng evidence sa kanya. Hindi ito yung una't huling hearing ng Quadcom. Remember, Christian, malawak ang scope, no? The Quadcom has now a wider scope because hindi lamang drugs ang aming inimbestigahan, yung illegal pogo hubs, the corruption that is behind these criminal activities. Marami po mga Chinese citizens na nagpapanggap bilang Pilipino. At ito sila ang siyang bumibili ng lupa at nagpapasok ng droga dito sa ating bansa. And of course, the issue of the extrajudicial killings.